This video is in ASL with English voiceover. I have a friend and her name is Doré, and her aunt, she's involved with the Cirque du Soleil. That's a circus show. You know, they're a group from France. So anyway, their performance, Love, it's called Love, and it's related to music by the music group Beatles. And that's a show that I've always wanted to see. I've really wanted to go and visit that show, and I've considered it for a long time. I've been really wanting to do it for the last few years. So anyway, her aunt works with the group, and she got some free tickets, and she invited my husband and I to join her for that show, and we agreed. So the three of us planned a trip, and last week on Thursday night, the three of us flew to Las Vegas. And I rented a hotel room in the same casino that has the performance. And the reason I did that was because I didn't want any worries or troubles about parking, finding parking, arriving on time, just all the various problems I wanted to avoid. So I went ahead and rented a room in the same hotel casino, which is the Mirage. The Mirage was very, very beautiful. It was really beautiful. So we arrived on Thursday night and slept. So we had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday all day. And we left Sunday night. So really we had 3 full days there. And I'm going to explain my experience there.
Hey Alexis!
Hey Alexis, we love you.
Love you, man.
Yeah, we're here in Vegas. Mwah.
This was the view stepping out of our hotel on the first day. Pretty impressive. So much fun to have Doré with us. So the first thing that I noticed when I got there was the size, the scale of the town. I mean, Las Vegas is huge. Compared with Reno, here it's just so cute, it's really quaint. We have like a small town. So when I arrived in Las Vegas, I was pretty astonished. It was really big. And every hotel, every casino was just enormous. These giant towers rising from the strip. And every one of them was trying to impress the people, and it was like a competition between them trying to beat each other out with the most interesting theme and how many lights they could have. All the different performances that were available. I mean, every one of their hotels was just really special and different and beautiful in its own way. And I also saw how much wealth, how much money was there, like for that town, to build that town. It was an incredible experience, just really eye-opening to see how much money these casinos had spent on performances and just all the wealth that's on the strip. It's a really special thing, and just influenced me to see how much money was there. In fact, it made me feel a little bit poor when I realized how much money the other people around me had. They were shopping and gambling, and I realized it was a playground for the rich, and that the three of us, we were there on a budget. We had to really take care of our money. We weren't there to gamble or anything. And I'm from Reno, so I grew up around gambling. It's not really special for me, and same with my husband and my friend. None of us are gamblers, so we weren't there to do that. Our goal was to see the show, maybe do a little bit of shopping, but not gamble. Oh, and food. We really wanted some food. I wanted to experience some food there. But I felt poor. And at the same time, you know, I mean, it's because normally every day I feel rich. Like every day in life, my life, I feel privileged. I feel Like, my life is a privileged experience. I have a house, I have a good marriage, I have a good job, I have a happy life, I have enough food, I have time and money to take a vacation. I mean, so normally I feel rich in my life. So when I saw Las Vegas, I realized my position, sort of. I'm just barely above middle class. I'm just barely in the middle class. I'm not really rich. I'm always taking care of my money. I always take care to make sure I pay my bills and I can afford things. I don't spend money wildly. I can't do that. So at the same time, looking around Las Vegas, I also did feel rich because I could afford to pay to be there for 3 days and stay for 3 days and go to the show and see the museums and do some different things. So I could do that. So really, I felt both rich and poor. And I think it was just really seeing and understanding my position on the spectrum of wealth. Because there's a lot of wealthy people way above me, people with a lot more wealth than me. I'm far away from them on the spectrum of wealth. They're not like me. But there's also people who are really a lot poorer than me. So there's people on the spectrum that have a lot less than me too. And I'm not like them either. I guess I'm in the middle. So really, in a way, my experience in Las Vegas sort of showed me my real position on this spectrum of wealth, at least here in America. And I think that's why Las Vegas itself is kind of the playground for the 1%. It's their game there. It's their party. It's really for them. There's something special there. It's scent. Yeah, Las Vegas has like a special smell. Every place you go, it doesn't matter if it's indoors or outdoors, you will notice that there's a scent. And it's a good smell. It's planned. It's not like random smells, but it's like perfume. It's like perfume's been added to the air all around. So wherever you go, I noticed that every hotel that you went into, every casino, as you went inside, you would smell something special and different. Like their own smell, sort of a branded smell. And my friend told me, she was explaining that it's true, that there's a whole industry, like a business set up, And it's a new special industry that scents environments as part of marketing and promotion. And I said, really? I'm so impressed. I mean, I didn't know that, but I understand now that I've had the experience. So, for example, the Venetian has the smell that's special. It's kind of an old European smell with some spice, some like old incense. It's warm, it's dry, the smell is it's good. And then in the Tropicana, their smell is more like fruity, sort of like a pineapple with coconut, more fruity and flowery. And our hotel, the Mirage, also had the same kind of smell, like an island smell, like a tropical smell with flowers and fruit mixed. And at Caesar's Palace, that was a big one, and it had its own smell too, same as the Luxor, that hotel, all the hotels. It was really interesting, and sometimes for me, the smell was too much. Like I got a little nauseous a few times, and I had to cover my nose, and I felt like gassed out a little bit. Like some of the bathrooms, when you would go inside to sit down, the smell was just nauseating. It was too much smell, too much scent for me. But at the same time, I really felt like that was a special thing, and I thought, wow, this is a special place to have its own perfume, like for people to enjoy. Yeah, I don't know, it's just different.
Yeah, it's a video. Oh, wow.
So the performances that we saw three. We saw the Love performance with the Beatles music, and that was a Cirque du Soleil show. And it was really eye-popping, mind-blowing, wonderful, awesome. I was so impressed with that group. And I've seen another one of theirs last year in Reno. One came called El Corteo, and that was a really beautiful show. But this one, wow, I just loved this performance. It's called Love, and it's just mind-blowing. The skill and the expertise of the dancers, the costumes, the stage setup, the acrobatics, all the things that were involved came together in perfect harmony. It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It was just so beautiful. I really can't explain with words. So the second show that we saw was called Bodies. Bodies. And it was really interesting to see. They use real human bodies, people who have died, their corpses. And they use a special technique. It's plasticine. It's like a technique where the body that's dead is laid out and it's injected with like a liquid plastic, and then their body becomes frozen. It's set that way. It stays that way forever. The color's really bright. Everything inside of it is preserved really well. And it's fascinating to see that. My jaw dropped when I could see the things inside of our bodies, like really see them up close and look at them from all the different angles, to walk around and see that. And I learned a lot, but I started to notice as we went through the show, as we were looking at all the different people's faces, that it seemed they were all Chinese or Asian, some kind of Asian people. And I said to my friend, "Do you notice that all of the people are Asian?" And she said, "Yeah, most of them are Chinese prisoners. They're from prison camps." And I said, "Really? You mean these are prisoners that were executed?" And she said, "Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, some of them uh, probably weren't fully consenting to this. They might have been political prisoners." And I was like really moved by that. I thought, wow, hearing that made me feel a little bit nauseous. Looking at the bodies and seeing their faces, I started to think, wow, I'm not sure how much I can really enjoy the show. I started to really be obsessed thinking about these people as prisoners that were executed. And for what? For political reasons? For political speech? I don't know. It's really awful to think of that. It gave me some grief. Still, it was a beautiful, fascinating performance and show, and I do recommend it. But the story about where the bodies maybe come from, I will add a link here below about that story so you can read more. I'm at Goth night in Las Vegas, and guess what? Reno is better. This third show we saw was the Erotic Heritage Museum. Yeah, and it was really interesting. There are 2 floors with art, sculptures, exhibits of different kinds, books, magazines, posters, movies, all kinds of things related with sex, and our sexual history and our sexual heritage. Everything. And it was really cool. It was really nice to see. I really would go again. It's fascinating, the things that are there. And my husband enjoyed it so much. And the two of us had our friend Dore. She enjoyed it too. And so I will add some of the pictures here so you can see these three shows. I had such a great time too. It was awesome. So much fun.